Welcome students, parents, guardians of the graduating class of 2020. I'm just going to give you some updates on information on graduation requirements, some things that you need to know and do. So first things first, I just want all the seniors and parents to just take a deep breath. Everything is going to be just fine. The students have made it through 3 years, 6 months at a high school, so they can make it through these last 7 weeks of distance learning. So just remember, don't punch the target, punch through the target. You're almost done with this, so just take a deep breath, relax, we'll get through this together. So what you need to know for our distance learning, most of you have been in your Google Classrooms with your teachers completing assignments. So school is not over yet. It's just going to look a lot different from now on till you graduate. So teachers and administration, we've been working really hard to create more project-based learning activities instead of textbook worksheets. So yay. It is the state of Washington requirement that you put a good faith effort into the new distance learning platform that we've developed for you. So you might be asking, well, what does good faith effort mean? That means you need to put the work in as best you can so that you can graduate. So remember, that is the end goal for you here, is for you to graduate. So you need to put in that good faith effort. So you need to make sure that you're responding to teachers and other school members' phone calls, emails, as well as completing the work that teachers have given you. So technology plays a huge role in this distance learning model, so please let us know how we can best support you. So if you're a student out there that needs some help accessing technology, please let us know so that we can help you solve that problem. So some requirements for you seniors. You're still required to complete the 24 credit hours. Unless you meet the requirements set by OSPI for a credit waiver. So if you think you fall into that category, please contact the school 633-1442, and we're available Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and then if you call on a Tuesday or Thursday, we'll most likely get your message and respond. So you are required to complete all parts of the high school and beyond plan. This is a Washington State requirement, so we can't waive that. So contact the school if you need some more information on that. You do not need to complete any local requirements. So that means no oral boards, no portfolio, no community service requirements. But you do need to make sure that you've met all those Washington State requirements before you can graduate. So that means testing, credit requirements, anything that's a state requirement. So please contact us with more information. So now under the survey, as you can see, looking at this pie graph, this is kind of a breakdown of the data. Presented 4 generalized options for graduation. The little green sliver is the virtual graduation option. That one's the least favorite. I believe there's only like 2 people that voted for that, selected that as what they would prefer. And again, this is not a voting survey. This is just to kind of get some voice from our students and our families to see what kind of direction we should go in. And all these things are contingent upon what the state of Washington tells us what we can do in terms of gathering and what that can look like. So that's just kind of a disclaimer to all of this. So, what do the results mean for us? So what are the trends? Well, like I said, about 1/3 of our survey showed that a virtual graduation on the date with a ceremony or celebration later this summer was a popular one, along with a non-traditional graduation ceremony if possible. And there's some few ideas out there, and we'll kind of get to that. But a traditional graduation ceremony later on this summer if possible. These are basically the top 3. They all share about 1/3. So what does it tell us? That nobody wants a standalone virtual graduation. It looks like everyone wants to have some sort of in-person ceremony celebration. So a combination of a virtual in-person ceremony is what most people want. So what are some of the ideas mentioned for non-traditional? Well, in the comments, a lot of people said, hey, let's utilize the football field. It's easy to use the social distancing, but to be honest, this will be much harder to implement because of just the way that the football field is laid out. But it is achievable. So we would be able to utilize radio broadcasting, so students can be in their cars. Students and immediate families only would probably be the option. And we would be able to stream the ceremony video live online for extended family, friends, and community if they want to watch the graduation. So that's definitely some ideas that have been thrown out there. There's also been a really cool one about the parade through the different municipalities around here. Same concept as the football field, involves the entire community, and social distancing is very achievable with this model. So these are just some of the ideas that have been thrown out. The survey is still going out. It'll close later today, but I don't anticipate the numbers to change too much. So now for the hard news. So seniors, hold on. Graduation will now be on June 13th. So that's Saturday, June 13th. It was originally scheduled for June 6th. And I know some of you are just really upset by that, and I understand. But the superintendent of Washington State held a meeting on Wednesday, 4/22 at about 4 p.m. In that meeting, he addressed the issue of graduation. Not specifically targeting graduation and saying that June 13th has to be the date, but he set forth some requirements that we're normally required to do. So we're all K-12 comprehensive schools, which includes us. We're required to complete 1,080 hours of instruction for the year. So that takes us from the beginning of the school year to the last day. So 180 school days. So that's about 6 hours a day. Now, with that being said, typically seniors are waived 30 of those hours for seniors for that last week. So that's why we get that June 13th date. Now, the reason why it has to be June 13th is because due to that COVID shutdown on March 13th, there was no communication about moving graduation, the requirements about this, but now that requirement has been set forth, saying we still have to meet those hours, we have to extend another week in order to make that happen. So that is a requirement set forth by Washington State, and I know that that's probably not ideal for our seniors, but it's only a week, and we'll get through it just like we've been getting through everything else. So some final words. I hope that you've received my letter to you seniors. I really empathize with all of you. And I can understand if you're angry and feeling robbed of your experience, your graduation experience, your senior year, all things that go along with it. But I encourage you to look forward to the future, that this is just momentary. This is not going to be your forever. So please remember that you will make it through this. We will have more information on graduation and what that will look like next week. So please be checking the website, your Google Classes, and any communications we put out. Remember, we still have 7 weeks left, so please continue to be logging your classes and participating. So thank you so much. Again, please let us know if there's anything we can do for you, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week.